I'm live. Looks like I'm live. I'm sitting in our beautiful backyard. And I just got off the phone with my daughter's orthodontist office. And I'm wondering if sometimes people on the other end of the phone, like staff person at a doctor or dentist or orthodontist office, have dealt with so many people who just don't know how to communicate that they kind of like pass off this energy onto people who are mature and know how to communicate, and they're kind of like anticipating problems. So the girl calls me today, and mind you, so here's the story. They're supposed to take out an automatic payment on the 15th of every month. I, I didn't look and see if it was specifically taken out or not. And I had thought it was a possibility that they didn't, take it out. So I had reserved money just in case. I figured, we actually were there twice yesterday, and they said nothing about the payment. So I was like, well, either it went through or like they'll let me know or whatever. I was doing a lot of different things. I know I had reserved money away for it, and there was money on the 15th in there for them to be able to take it out. So she calls me and she's like, oh, you have a past due balance. I was like, oh, that's interesting because we were in there twice yesterday. And I hear the voice and I kind of can see this very young, very nice girl who is at the front desk. I'm pretty sure it's her. And we've seen her multiple times. Super, super nice. And she's like, okay, well, it's going to be $213 plus a $25 fee. And she's like, because they tried to take the payment and it didn't go through. I said, well, there was no communication to me via an email. I actually was on the phone with her while I looked. I said, there was no communication via email. And actually, this is a PayPal card. So if they did try to take the money, because this has happened before, I don't keep all of my money in my PayPal account, like just a regular PayPal account. I use my debit card with. So the other money is somewhere else. And so I was like, okay, so PayPal, this has happened to me before. And had just transferred money and then the payment went through, for other things. And she's like, well, we only take the payment once. I was like, oh, okay, well, this is our first time doing it because my other daughter who saw you or went to your office for phase one braces, I was just making the payment on the 15th of every month and I get it, an email receipt, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, okay, well, this is they tried to take it out on the 15th. And I was like, well, there was no communication from you guys to me. Like no phone call, no email, which they've done for other random stuff. So a payment to me would be a huge thing. I would think that they would definitely communicate. And I said, and also PayPal would have sent me an email. If you had tried to take a payment out and there wasn't enough money, PayPal would have sent me a email saying, hey, this person tried to take out this money and there wasn't enough money. And I would have just had the money transferred and, called for the payment. So that would have been my red flag at the time. I just figured maybe it had gone through. I didn't know, but I figured, oh, they'd let me know and maybe then they'd take the payment. But if I'm at your office twice in one day and you don't say anything to me like, hey, we haven't received payment for this month and we tried to debit it on the 15th. So, but the giveaway there for me is PayPal not sending me an email that they tried to take a payment, because I looked through all of my emails from PayPal, all of my emails from this orthodontist office, and PayPal didn't send me an email like that at all. So clearly you guys there was some type of glitch or something. And she's giving me like a hard time. She's like, well, I can't guarantee. I can forward this to somebody and I can't guarantee. I was like, that's okay. I said, we're not there yet. We're not at the place of you forwarding this to somebody. But I just want you to have all this information. And she was like a little bit hesitant to take. I'm just like, I'm just asking for you to just take down all this information so the person that you forward this to, who makes the decision about taking off the $25 fee, knows all of the facts. I just think they should have all the facts. And I don't know if she was rushed, she had something else to do, but I was just like, it's okay. And I kind of got this feeling like, she thought I was going to give her a hard time about the fee. I mean, it's only $25. um, but I did present her with facts. Like, if you did actually try to take this money out, then PayPal would have notified me. So it's kind of a problem on your end. And it's okay. My daughter just started. This is the first time, we're doing auto pay. Technical glitches happen. And, even if they do stick me with this $25 fee on their error, um, that's okay. It's not worth me mistreating somebody on the phone who's just the messenger. And I just think we need to not expect people to be nasty and learn to communicate better. I wonder if there's any, communication class for these staff members who are on the phone, like administrative staff members who are on the phone with people all day, and maybe getting some nasty people, unfortunately, who don't know how to communicate beyond the toddler maturation stage, um, for them to learn, just ways of coping with the conversation and talking to that person at their current maturity level, and being able to like diffuse the situation. Like, maybe I assume police officers are taught to diffuse, aggressive situations where people haven't learned to communicate beyond toddler years. So I'm just kind of wondering collectively as a society if we could just kind of like step into a new era of communicating. I'm 38 years old. I am no longer a toddler. I'm just wondering if we could all just, step together into a new era of communicating effectively. Asking people, did I hear you right? Or do you think maybe you could listen to all the facts first, before you get offended? Like this, like being offended right away stuff isn't working out for me. So this is kind of like a dear society. Do you think maybe we could do this? Because this just sounds a whole lot better and a whole lot less drama, and like maybe lives saved and all kinds of stuff if we could just communicate effectively with each other. I know I make this plea from time to time, and I might seem like a crazy person. Call me cray, but I just think we could be doing this better. And then staff people, administrative assistants, different staff people wouldn't be like afraid to call people. Sorry, just watching a blue jay fly into our yard. Because it's a beautiful day, and we are very lucky to be alive, and you'll only have 80, 90 years. I'm not sure why we're wasting, any time being upset with other people and not communicating our needs effectively, and making sure that we got it right, and not just like immediately being offended and then being able to be like, oh, those are the facts. Oh, okay, well, I'm not offended by that. And like just moving on in a healthy way and not like stuck in our ego. My therapist does this resourcing exercise with people. She said she has people close your eyes and imagine that you're taking your ego out of your body. And it could be tethered to you, so maybe you're going to have to cut it with a string. And then you're going to place it in a box that's positioned away from you, not in close proximity. And you just imagine that your ego is like sitting in this box. And you can close the lid, and at any time you can open the lid and like listen to it for a second, because it does help you survive. But maybe just not listening to it all the time and letting it run your life. They say that something affects your mental health when it affects like your daily living, like it inhibits one or more like life activities. And I feel like for some people, definitely the ego affects communication and your ability, to communicate effectively and be happy, or at least enjoy life. So call me cray.